Grand Rising, good evening, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. It's your girl, Straight No Chaser with the Queen, here at the throne. So let's get in here. Yes, I'm going to be talking about our president and vice president once again. So y'all come on in here. All the children should be getting fed in the background. So no, we not gonna do you yet. So as y'all come in here, I'm cooking again. So as y'all come in here, we're gonna talk about our people. So did y'all do y'all research yet? It hasn't settled in yet that we might not be getting nothing out this deal. And as you see the title, Top Cop and Crime Bill Joe. Hey, Queen. Good evening, Kathy. I enjoyed talking with you and the hubby today. Me and my hubby did. Grand Rising, Brandon Cruising. Good evening. Let me see here. How are you? Grand Rising. So y'all see it, and we got evidence, evidence. You know, evidence that Top Cop, Kamala Harris called herself Top Cop off the top. She called herself Top Cop, right? So I'm not making it up. And the reason why I said Immigration Joe and gave you Hi Me, Grand Rising, Melody List, and Top Notch, what is it, Audio LLC on Instagram. Look, I'm giving y'all the evidence. We gotta stop accepting the stuff that the government does to us. We have to stop accepting people that are prints before us that look like us but has no agenda to help us, that has no agenda whatsoever. Y'all cheering for another Sambo in office. Peace, Bronze Flower Pot King. Y'all are cheering for the wrong people. Pause one moment. I'm cooking dinner again, as you see. But y'all are cheering for the people that y'all are marching and trying to get to listen to you, trying to get, when you say hashtag Breonna Taylor, when you say his name, these are the people that were sitting in office. Joe Biden been in office over 47 years. 40-some years. Peace be real, 77. And Kamala Harris has been in office over 15 plus years. Her and Joe Biden are before you because they built their careers being so-called tough on crime, when tough on crime meant black neighborhoods, black areas. So they basically, you're cheering Dell's 71 Grand Rising on Instagram. Y'all are cheering for the people that y'all are also yelling, saying hashtag say their name. Y'all are cheering for the people that were sitting in the office when you were being discriminated against. Y'all are cheering for the same people. And you actually fell into this spell that they prints before you. Oh, black woman. And then I have a lot of people, a lot of my friends and stuff will say, well, we should cheer for everybody black. No, you don't cheer for your enemy, boo. You have to separate. I'm not saying I'm going against it. If it was a black woman who have a history of trying to get in office to help us, that's one thing. We forgot what we were fighting for. You remember my last video? Thank you, Melody Liz. You got a notification. You know, they hate on the sister. But look, they are the people that when we are marching, we're saying hashtag say her name. Are y'all just yelling into space? Or are you yelling and saying this stuff because you want somebody to change something? And the people that you need to change something is High Pride Bentley, Grand Rising, is Kamala and Joe. But what they did was get tougher on crime. What they did was make life harder for us. What are we talking about here? Thank you, Vanessa. No, she ain't for us, Mimi. Are we forgetting who are you yelling to? Those are the people. But they use the ladder of getting on crime, climbing up. God is Yimmy Yam, Grand Rising. Who are you yelling to? When you're marching, when you're doing all this stuff, we're just living in a play world or something. Who are you yelling to when you're telling people, hashtag say her name, we need changes, we need this, we need that? Those are the people that were sitting in office. Those are your people. Those are the people that you're wanting to change stuff. Bear with me, I'm doing my seafood night. Those are the people you want to change things. Those are the people you're yelling at. How can you yell, say her name, we want equality, stop killing us, and you're cheering for the same woman who labeled herself top cop? Go in there. Kathy said, can Black women stop with the chucks and pearls? That's right. Y'all get an image. You get to wear it, like I say, and I'm going to keep saying it. Favorable child, how are you doing? Grand Rising. Mimi said, ain't none of these folks got good with us. That's right. These are the same people that you're yelling to stop their cops from killing. And this is a woman who labeled herself top cop or progressive prosecutor. She didn't live with among us. You can look it up. She grew up white. That's why she's with the white man, and y'all are cheering, and the Black men are cheering the first sister. This sister did not take a Black man up to the top with her. She took another white man. She took another white man to the top with her. You know what I'm saying? And where did that leave our Black men? Tell me what any difference is. We used to cheer for our people to get in these seats, to get in office, to get before these white people so that they can change stuff for us. They have learned that we use that tactic. So now they had to do mentally program us socially with everything around us to make us think that we are inside a system, that if we play the system games, we can get justification. No, unless we get the system seats, we don't. You see the power just shifted before your eyes. Mitch McConnell, they had to play you. He's stepping back. Now he's mad with Trump. All the same people who did not give at the end, it's all about Trump. What about you? What are you getting out of it? They done stole trillions of dollars from the American people again. They done gave themselves money again. They got us convinced that it's everything. Grand Rising. What are you getting out of it but being able to cheer and being able to wear the products of your enemy and being able to spend your money that you make from your enemy where you're not able to do anything from your people? Her grades wasn't good enough for a white college, so she had to attend the Black college. Yeah, she went on. She said she wanted to see the other side of life. There's a whole, like, she wrote a book, Kamala, and there's all these chapters where she justifies the stuff she did to Black people. But what y'all are not listening to is the victims, because as American society always does, the victim never gets the stage. Just like us, they teach you to say you're not a victim when you are an everyday victim of white supremacy. They stole trillions of dollars. They do the same game. They shift the power. Now Mitch McConnell looks like he's stepping back, but now he's working with the majority leader. But them people still ain't Black. Then they play your mind. Oh, we're gonna give this Black man this position over the military. Nah, that's what the president is. You know, Jermaine H. said, it's a challenge to convince people of what's right before their eyes. Yes, because they've been blinded with. When white supremacy realized what was going on, they made sure they covered every track to cover us, our eyes. Be Real 77 is an immigrant love fest. Nothing tangible for us. That's right. Joe Biden, they said the first thing he did was implement DACA. So everybody in America, please like, share, pass this on. whether you white, black, or whatever, even if we're fighting our own battles in our own country, we don't know what them people over there doing. But do we go in their country? Well, we don't. As black people, we can't even get a passport or something. But can we go in their country where they have leaders on their wall where they died for their freedom and stuff? No, they come over here and they benefit off of us. It's always put everybody before the black people. And that's what Kamala and Biden have been there. Y'all can believe whatever you want. You can cheer people. Just like our land had to be built. Melody List said, Melody's List on Instagram said, talked to somebody yesterday. They said Uncle Joe and TT Kamala gonna take care of us. Try to enlighten them. They were so blind. You can't. It's like we're gonna have to be here for ourselves, those that's woke. That's why we building a nation, those that's woke, so we can have something for ourselves. Because when every time they do this, they strip a black wealth down. And they don't make you do statistics. Statistics will tell you what's going on with us behind you wearing the designer labels, getting enough money to look like you're American and doing the American dream. When reality, everything is measured on the race, even though they say they don't see race, but they damn sure count it. That's how they know how much wealth is in a Hispanic household. That's how they know how much wealth is in the white household. And that's how they know how much wealth is not in the black household. It's in the statistics. That's why they push the censorship. They want to make you think they want to push the censorship so they can send the help over there. These white people get welfare and just as many welfare as government aid. We are here. We are Americans. We should get government aid. Government aid. What did y'all break? What they break? What are y'all doing with the hot sauce over in there? But look, they look, when a person is abused, raped, or bamboozled, they are called a victim. When the sufferers are all of the above and then some, bring attention to it all of a sudden, we can't be considered victims. And yes, Faber said, truth, power, sister. Queen, we need to get all the boys and men in prison who've been falsely imprisoned to write a letter to their office. That's right. It's going to take tenacity. It's going to take bringing the truth before their eyes over and over and over and over again. We're going to have to bring our own truth up here because they're not leaving room. Bear with me, y'all. You know, we got family. We got a full family here. And you have to understand the issues with the hot sauce bottles. But one moment. Let me put this on. You ain't do nothing, just sit it on the side. Go ahead, you can come through. I'm talking to my people where you're going to have to come through to see it. Look, but y'all, okay, since they in the big seat, we need them to hold the big change. It's good. Take your time, Brandon Cruz, and say thank you. Because, you know, we got full family. We ain't trying to pretend that, look, you see my daughter walking by stealing shrimp. Did you make your plate? But look, we're the people that we're fighting for. We're the everyday youth. Look, Melody Liz said, I think that a person was talking about handouts from Joe and Top Cop. Yeah, they not gonna give us nothing. They showed you that there already was in $1 trillion debt. So they joined. I'm just wholesome joint on Instagram. They just stole trillions of dollars. How are they gonna get that money back? How they always do it. Let me tell y'all they little plan. Their little plan is always criminalize the lower class people that they got in their statistics. Like I said, they count race, they count everything. They criminalize the lower class people. And then they find ways to make laws, and then they raise the fines. Then they call this BS called inflation. Next thing you know, prices is high and all this stuff. These people are greedy. But you got Top Cop Kamala, and you got immigration Joe Biden. He made sure he took care of these immigrants off the top. Off the top. These immigrants they don't have no ancestors that fought and died on this blood here in America, this soil here in America. They weren't lynched, they weren't hung. But they come over here, and that's the difference. It's not about who suffered more as black. There's suffering of black all over, but there's different levels. And it's disrespectful for the immigrants to come over here and piggyback off of what we could not get first. And that's what we're marching for and yelling for. And the people that needs to hear it sits in the seats that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden passes along to their friends. Because if you look at the stories with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, Kamala Harris became the top cop because she was going to be tough on crime. And it was code word for black people. We know this. And so she got the ear of the police, and the police backed her. They only didn't back her because she didn't back a death bill, didn't want a death penalty for a black dude who had shot a cop. They were mad. But that's the only thing she did. So she had to pride herself and prove to them that she was going to be hard on crime. There's stories of the hunter, like we have in our books. The hunter tells a story because they kill the prey. They make sure the prey cannot tell this story. That's how they do us. I'm just on the transgender rights immediately at the forefront. Yet black community still got to wait their turn. But don't worry, we got Harriet on the 20. Yeah, what Harriet on the 20 gonna do so you can see your black face? They don't learn to put us in commercials. Everywhere you look now, black people advertising white corporations, but we still don't own it. The play thing is put black faces on it. They don't stop stealing our, they steal our culture. They do that. Put black faces on it. Welcome, Joe D. Joint and on Instagram. They put black faces on stuff. And they get us to prance around while they make the money. We're walking advertisements. We're walking billboards. When they didn't want us to wear it no more, they started sticking it on cars. They stick it on the stuff we drink, we wear. Do you not see what they use us for? And the thing about it is y'all think because you got a job, that is not wealth. Wealth is being able to hire the people like white people hire you. You don't have black people with corporations like that. We barely even know where the black doctor's at. We constantly fighting our way back to society. We're fighting our way into this society. You know what I'm saying? Pride of Bentley said he sure did. He made that clear. They have no more use for us anymore, so they want us gone. Most Hispanics work for low wages. That's why they respect us Hispanics, because now Hispanics took on the role of the slave. And when black people started standing up for themselves, they made sure we can't have nothing because we own everything they had. And if we take the seats, it goes back to being even. It goes back to black people are not your underclass. Black people are not your ghettos. You don't get to write the history books. You don't get to lock us up. They don't want it to be fair. How do y'all don't see that? We ain't got no wealth. We get to wear. We get to wear this stuff and act like we're not poor and act like we're not the underclass in America when we are the underclass, because they specifically designed it that way after slavery. And then when we made it after slavery and they seen we had it on our own, they brought the Jim Crow laws and the codes and the black codes and all the stuff to keep. Why did this race of people do this to us and continues to lie? It continues to stop us from saying they did this to us. Melody, just wanted to clarify, the person I talked to, I believe Melody's list on Instagram said the person I talked to, I believe, was talking about welfare when they said Joe Kamala will take care of her. They probably are, because that's all they make sure. If you don't know what's out there, if you want a dream, unless you have a dream, how can you ask for something that you don't know exists? We don't ask for stuff because they make sure our education, unless you just make it through their hurdles, is enough where we don't know to ask for what they got, because they make sure we don't see what they got. They make sure we don't understand the paperwork. They make sure the only people that understand the paperwork is the people who could get through their BS tests and they BS racist teachers. And then the war zone going in their neighborhoods and communities, and God forbid if you hungry every day and your parents poor, they give us all of this, and then they expect us to keep blaming ourselves and give them a chance. Why didn't Kamala them is from South Asia? If everybody in the world is okay, America is so this and that, then tell me why the people over in them other countries won't do like our people, our leaders, the ones that they make holidays out of. Why don't our leaders, while their leaders fight for their rights in their countries? It's sad to know folks are happy with crumbs while they keep killing us because they made us think that it's all about money. They got us thinking it's all about survival, is about money. When you look at money, it's the damn white man with his face stamped on it. He cut down God-given trees that is for our nature, and somehow he came up with paper. Our people that, and now they seeing that it's so bad. Now you got to replant trees. How come white people get to keep making all these mistakes? The ocean is polluted, but yet it's we. We don't even get to leave out our neighborhoods in peace. How the hell we polluting the ocean with y'all? You know what I'm saying? It's always we when something is messed up. They got all the factories and companies and everything, but then all of a sudden when it's pollution, it's we got to do this. We got to do that. But it ain't never we when it's time to give out reparations. It's never we when it's time to look out for the black people who've been the essential workers, as Joe Biden said, carrying America. And then he said this out his own mouth. Blacks and Hispanics. But yet the first people he gives something to is the immigrants. And the Hispanics fall under that a little bit. Hold on, y'all. Turn it down. They get hope. One moment, y'all. I'm cooking. They get to come over here and they get to get the things. Y'all don't understand tribes and community no more. So you don't understand what you're fighting for anymore. You're fighting to get into their integrated system. They learned we were separated at one point. They burned our stuff down and forced us into their system. They used Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King had a contract with the government. They used him to sway and talk to the people to bring them there. And they've been using people that they put up front ever since then when they seen it work with Martin Luther King. So that's why they had to get rid of Malcolm X. You see what I'm saying? Mimi said when they passing out favors too, it ain't we then. That's right. Jeremy H said until we abandon the system of money, we will continually decline. That's right. That's right, favorable child. We not taught to survive, because if the world ends, they making sure they learn. When they freed us from slavery, they made us teach them the talents that they didn't have. One moment. They made us teach them the talents that y'all can turn where you can hear it. They made us teach them the talents that they didn't have. So we gave away free labor. And then when they were able to keep using the last of the slaves and getting the free labor, then they didn't want us around no more. Then they started giving each other jobs. And then they said the Japs, what people don't understand, they want you to believe everybody was a slave. Everybody wasn't a slave. The Japs and the Chinese was discriminated against. But when white people found out it wasn't enough for them, they was like, that's when they started to let's look alike. So the Chinese and Japs and Hispanics abandoned us. And they lynch on, and you can look at their paperwork and their birth certificates. When they put it down, they put down white. I know I worked for the Obamacare, as they say, the Affordable Care Act, signing people up. You would be amazed. I talk to black people. I know you black as me. And they say they white. Because paperwork talks till you get in front of them. Azan Braxton, and I'm saying I'm cooking with you. Thank you, Queen. We cooking it up. Mimi said everybody gets a bag. Our people get passed over. That's right, and we allow it. They tell us to save the animals that's going extinct, but we don't have money to kill those animals, let alone travel to where the animals is. But when it comes to give a piece of the pie, they ignore us. That's right. They say this animal is extinct. We're this, we're that. We gotta save the animals. We gotta save the water. We gotta save the oceans. But where was we at when y'all was doing them deals with China and all in Japan? Japan is polluting the ocean right now. But yet that's not emergency enough. That's not a humanity problem. We don't even get to fix our existence. That's why we need a nation. We don't even get to say nothing about Japan over there with Fukushima. It's messing up the ocean, and then they keep playing you and telling you that the winds is changing. The oceans is part of the ecosystem. That's why these fishes are dying and everything. Go to the point. Look at Fukushima. The nuclear plant exploded in Japan back in 2011. They don't want, and then there's a map and it shows you how far this nuclear stuff is spreading through the ocean system. It's so hot that every time they try to send a robot down there to stop it, the robot melts. But nobody is talking about that. They're talking about black people. They're talking about WAP. They got you talking about Kamala is the first black this and that. They got you ignoring humanity. They got you wearing labels. They got you concerned about everything. When you die, you cannot get in them labels and stuff, and it's not going to do nothing for you. But you know what the money that you give to them labels do? Look up on my YouTube page, on my playlist and stuff, where it says white survival. They got bunkers in cities that's better than your houses. These people not even living on the land above us. They're not just taking all the land, but they also are taking all the land under you. They got all these bunkers. They shipping in. They're preserving themselves. It's white people first. This is white supremacy is serious. But they got you playing until black people always wait to the last minute. You always wait to the last minute. And then it's too late. Because they got you waiting on Jesus and Muhammad and all these other people. While they building, while they're doing something, faith without works is dead. They're doing something. You're waiting for them to do something for your big grown black asses. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. It does not mean pray your way somewhere, because it's not going to happen. If you cannot pray for food to get up and get in your mouth and get in your body, then it means that you had to do something to get the food to give you your nutrients. If you want freedom, you're going to have to get up and do something. You're going to have to unite. The way that you've been doing it is over. It's not working. One moment. But yes, faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. What are you working on? Making the white man happy? Making the white race happy? Prada Bentley said, I seen that, making bunkers that lead from their house. Not just bunkers, they got pool. They got food that'll last them years. Remember, Queen Elizabeth and all these other countries, they had this thing out in Alaska. You can look it up. It had every seed. They were trying to do what our people did. Everything they did, they came from us. They had every seed, every grain, every corn, so that they can survive after they F up this world. Y'all don't know that they're preparing that much of a disaster for you. You think it's just in the streets. That's just play. They just letting their boys have fun. You know they call them boys. They grown ass, doofy ass white men. But them boys. But when your kids come around, they thugs. They predators. Your president that you're cheering for called your children super predators with Hillary. They got bunkers, they got pool, this place had every seed, everything that they need, their race needed, because they had the power to make the decision that they can survive. Every race has the power to do that, but us. And then when we think about ourselves, they have you thinking that you're being racist because you're thinking about yourself. When they show you, when you walk out your door, they only think about themselves and their friends, because that's who has all the businesses. Pools. They bunkers and swimming pools, all kinds of stuff. You would think you in another world. And they preparing because they are destructive. They're ruthless, relentless. It's just like children that don't care. You know how you could build. This is not their land. This is not made for them. They weren't made to be above the sun. They don't care. They don't care about your animals. They don't care about your water. They don't care about your air. They don't care. All they care about is being comfortable and getting your organs and getting your physical labor, getting your organs so they can stay alive as long as they can. That's why is Queen Elizabeth and all these people still alive? They just told you during the pandemic that the reason why Black people were being affected more because our poor health. Why? Because of the conditions of racism. Your government just told you that, and y'all just looked over it while they gave each other trillions of dollars. Now while you voted for the same people who've been in office all this time that locked you up, the reason why you running the streets, can't smoke a blunt in your car and without being harassed and being given 100 years, while the white man can rape little children, get off and go back to his life later. You don't understand why that's happening because you keep cheering the people, you keep cheering the image and not cheering the action. You cheering the image, you cheering what it looks like. Y'all are confused. They planning all of this, right? The same ones that murdered John F. Kennedy, creating the American note that was backed by resources, which was going to bankrupt the elite since theirs isn't backed. That's right. America used to be backed by slavery. There's no more slaves, as they say. No, they had to reverse it, emancipate you, make the other ones, the enslaved masters are now the corporations, but the corporations are messing up the world. So now they're going back to slavery where you had the poor whites and the blacks as the slaves. The poor whites, but now that we're yelling racism because they got everybody blind, the poor whites thinking that there's no racism because they're suffering just like the blacks, and you don't understand that the pieces of the chess game is just the same. They just changed the colors. The chess game is still the same. They got the chess pieces, the different. Before you had the slave owners, you had the corporations that brought in the slave owners. The slave owners, white people were indentured servants. They came over here on boats too. Y'all don't know that. That's why they always saying white people were slaves too. White people were slaves too. They kind of was to their people, but we didn't go get slaves. That's the difference. You can't compare just because you did this to your people and my people. You can't compare that. So they came over here on boats too. But what y'all don't know is that the poor whites and the blacks, they got together and they made a government. They overthrew these slave masters and stuff. So you had the slave master, you had the slaves, and you had the poor whites. That the slave masters was taking the money so that they can keep the elite, the same Queen Elizabeth and all these same rich families rich, right? So now they done took the wool, they done painted it up, they had to change it. Now you're not slaves, you're emancipated people. Now the poor whites ain't poor whites, they're middle class. And now the corporations, now the slave masters ain't slave masters no more, they're corporations. So now the corporations are stealing from the poor whites. They're stealing from the blacks who already ain't got nothing. And then they making sure that the blacks and the poor whites don't never get back together again because we too busy arguing over all kinds of stuff. Y'all don't understand. This is an American problem. That's why we're separating and making our own nation so we can have a just nation. A free nation where everybody is free to make money. These people are making money they will never spend in 3 or 4 lifetimes. And you thinking that God got you cursed and there's something wrong with you and you pray hard enough, it's going to change. These people, faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. These people are putting their dreams into action. And we're playing on this chess game. Y'all playing. Jermaine said they're hybrids without a soul, but y'all don't hit. That's right. The pineal gland is the soul. It's on every one of our people that's dug up. I'm not trying to be funny. If you learn history, they made sure you're not interested in history because all you know over in America in the history books, all you get is Western history. You don't understand why they say Western history because that's the Western version of their history where they cut you out, tell the lies about what they want, tell their version of the story. It's kind of like if you and your homeboy or homegirl go somewhere, boom, you come back, she dead. You only deal with all the goods and you tell the story and you tell your version of the story, how you had to fight your friend and your homeboy and kill him and take the stuff. You hear what I'm saying? They give you a version of life and we're playing this game like we're all free. We're just going through. We're just not doing it right. We're just not educated. No, their books are lying to you. They keep you uneducated and they keep you embarrassing each other because when we all in the same boat. And Dell 71. Hey Donna, Duncan 1973. TH Hall 1106. Shout out to you, Grand Rising, Dell 71 on Instagram, and they running the Egyptian pyramids. That's right. Let me tell you, they just dug up a pyramid the other week of an Egyptian queen that's connected to Tahiti, and they don't even know, never heard of this queen, they said before, because they swear they know everything about us. They keep digging and digging and digging, and the more they dig, the blacker they come. And then they spent all these years lightening it up, talking about they gonna do this with the ink. If anybody know black, if you put bleach on it, black turns from black to reddish to orange to it's white. Look at that stuff that they're doing. Look at what they're doing. Hey, Ronald. Look at what they're doing. Then they show you, and they just dug up the tomb. They said in the tomb there was the biggest book of the dead that they ever seen, 13 feet high. They call it the book of the dead because they killed everybody in Egypt and Africa and all that. And so when they dug up their people, they found books with the dead people that tell the story about your afterlife. The book of the dead is exactly like the Bible, except for they changed it to their Bible. And they put in their characters and their white people that they know that if you pray and you do this the wrong way, you will never get that power that you're looking. They never found Jesus' bone. They can't find nothing. But they keep you away from science, because science will tell you and history will tell you that there's nothing in the Bible that they can prove. But there's everything in the book of the dead that's right before you. So they just dug up this tomb the other day. And this tomb had a 13-foot wall, black as can be, with the book of the dead, telling about your transition. Every time you see the threefold ministry, Horus, Oris, and Shesed. I don't know all the names because I know some of the names was changed, but it mean the same thing. But then they gave you the threefold ministry. Our people, pictures in stone, everything is carved in stone is the same exact thing when they have their patents. Then they tell you, oh, they found some European stuff 2,000 years ago. Boo, our shit go back millions. Science proves it. Science proves this. But yet they have us keep playing this game so that nobody understands the core of all of this racism, the core of all of this. Is so white supremacy can thrive. White supremacy, I'm going to tell you again, is not white people. It's not a person. It's a system that was put in place by white people to put white people first. That's why it's so hard when we dig up our way out. They find a way to chop us down. They on their Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, any way they can chop us down. When we, the victim, they make sure that they come up and bring up our past and tell us all the bad stuff about it. And then they make us forgive them. Why do y'all forgive Kamala Harris for what she did? She called herself Top Cop. She made them white cops love her. She crossed out the black men. She put black men in jail. She didn't understand them. She went to our school to get our benefits. Joe Biden is giving immigrants our benefits that your grandparents and stuff and great-grandparents died from that you probably don't know is your great-grandparents, because less than 170 years ago was slavery and they were still breeding us on sex farms. So half of us don't know where we from, but we all know that science said we all from Africa. Right, eventually got me laughing. Talking about don't laugh. I'm over here talking to my tablet like, Queen, can you hear me speak? That's right. They got us playing the game. They don't want the poor whites and the blacks to come together because, like I was telling you before, there was a first government. Look it up. There was a first government. It was filled with black seeds. Everything they have, they mimic. They cross us out, destroy it, don't put no evidence of it, and then they go back and they recreate their own and they feed it to us. They give us, we are in a regurgitated society. America is a regurgitated society. You know how throw up is. It's all over the place. Pieces of this, pieces of that. If you ate, they ate us whole and they throw it up. We can still see our pieces. But it's mess. This is not an American. This is not a nation. This is a slave plantation in disguise. Corporations are now taking over where it's affecting everybody. So as the white people trying to hold on to their wealth because they've been played to separate, they're basically attacking the blacks and Hispanics. They're white people that been trained, and in this society that live among us are trained to make believe that because of the poor people in America is the reason that they having their problems. They don't want to. That's why all the platforms shut us down, because they don't want them to look in the mirror and say your granddaddy is a racist son of a bitch. Can I say that on there? None of my YouTube videos probably be monetized and all that stuff, but they don't want to say that. They'll call us a thug. We ain't got no platform where we done made up names about them. The names we made was in derogatory. It was not because we were picking on them. The names we made is because of their effect on us, like the word cracker. But yet we can't say it because somehow they say that's the same weight and disrespect as calling us the N-word that they make millions of dollars off of. They made the word N-word up for us, and then they make us regurgitate that, and then they get money off of us calling us the N-word together. And then we laugh at each other and we call each other king and queen. See how they got us accepting everything negative because they made us the negative class? They put us as the negative class. They made us the lower class, and they got us walking around in a low class mindset. They got us walking around with our crowns in our pockets. You don't know your crown don't never leave you. It's in your back pocket. You just ain't been taught to pull that motherfucker out and put it on. You've been taught to wear their slave master names. You've been taught to strive to come up in their slave master companies, knowing that the devil is up the ladder. Love is stronger. See you in Africa too. Thanks for the support. Spread the word, because we're going to build a nation with all of us that know that we know that we know that we are united by the struggle and by our skin. Because at the end of the day, if me and you was out here with one of them races, they don't care about our title. They care about the skin, and they're trying to get rid of anything that look like this. They let the other people that look a little bit lighter pass so that they can do their dirty work for them. They got our people doing the dirty work in the streets, and they got people like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden writing it up, and they sit back and they don't give us no relief, no relief, reparations or anything came after slavery. So how could we build something? When we built it, they destroyed it and they never paid it back. So how can we have something? Y'all don't understand what happened. If you stole from a whole race, if somebody came in here and robbed everything you had, and you had no connection to no mother, sister, or friend, and all your friends was robbed, how could you ever come up? And then the only way that you and your friend could come up is if hey, come here. If you go against him, sell these drugs to him and get him hooked, I got you. That's the options we get. Oh, hey, come here. Go ahead and kill him and stuff and snitch on him. They pitted us against each other. They own the TV stations. Who's responsible for taking off the positive black shows and putting on this garbage? Who? They don't want you to label them. They don't want you to keep saying it's white people. They want us to play this, oh, everybody racist. America gave everybody the chance after slavery. America robbed black people along with their buddies. The Chinese and all them was discriminated too, but when they got a chance to look like the white people, they denied their other darker colored Chinese and Japanese and Mexican and Hispanic people. Because you see, all the darker Hispanics just got their legalization to say they Mexican. They even cut anybody out that looked like this. So the whole game of white supremacy is to put white people first and black people last. Why? Because black people were naturally first. We ain't had to compete. They have us competing against each other, talking about who the better basketball player. We all got talent. You might got a little bit more talent, but they got you played like that. Who the better football player? I've been out here bumping, banging their head because that's their only options first. And while white people get to sit in the stands and own the slave teams. Do you see that there's an unbalance in the universe? Like I was saying, they got their buddies messing up all around the world, but yet we only get to be part of the blame. It's always the blame. We need to clean up our streets. When it was our streets? When did you put us in a nice neighborhood in safety with resources without other racist white people holding us back? Without racist cops shooting one of us every day, devastating the neighborhood while we all walking around with PTSD. We trigger happy with anybody because we don't know who our enemy is. How about the government fix that? How about Kamala them apologize for the black woman that she marched out in her pajamas in front of her little girl because her little girl didn't go to school or they was late because she wanted to be hard on her truancy because she had an education. Bitch, we ain't had that type of life to go have an education like you. You chose to go here and there. We ain't had no choice but public schools because your people held us back. Your husband, people held us back. We play this game and they teach us, they say we are the angry black woman because we gonna speak truth in life. When we speak, they scared because we speak life and we speak truth. They want people like Candace Owens that's gonna make you and convince you that ain't nothing wrong and you blend in with like a spot with a bunch of white people and they got her walking around obviously not seeing the mirror. Because I would feel any white black, you have to really, really be crazy not to be in the sea of white people. I don't care how long you've been raised and not understand that why is you the only black one in this, and out of about a million white people and everybody in America claim they get a chance. How come it's only the Chinese, the Hispanic got their communities? And that's why I'm saying the Hispanic ain't come over here and welcomed us. They had their gangs against us too. We got people. That's why I say that saying. They had their gangs against us too. The Hispanics, everybody wanted to kill the black person and the black man. And nobody don't want to talk about that. Kamala Harris was labeled herself the top cop. I'm not hating on a sister. I'm telling you the truth because they send the enemy in disguise. Y'all will kill and shoot each other on the street and fall out with each other because you say your homeboy or homegirl is a snitch or a dog or a snake and you cut snakes' heads off. What's all the sayings that's out here? And then you turn right around and cheese and smile in the face of people who said they don't like you, that you are predators, who made laws and put you in jail. And then y'all would get mad at anybody that bring you the truth. And why? Why is this? Grand Rising, Monique. Salutations, Bugani. Look, she called herself the top cop. She put policy. She was hard. She wanted to show the police. She did it so good that the police officers took her in. That's how she made her. She became vice president, not because y'all voted for her. They were going to put her in anyway. She became vice president because she was the black woman who didn't give a damn about other black people. She wasn't a black queen. Why is y'all giving her a throne and giving her a crown that she don't deserve? Let's talk to the victims. Let's talk to the victims who were arrested in front of their children because their children didn't go to school. Y'all know how it is being black. How you know that the moms had babysitters? They want us to live white without the benefits that everybody else got. They want us to live like Jews, but we ain't got the same benefit. They want us to do everything like them, and we ain't got no benefits. You know what I'm saying? Black Love 17 said Hispanics still against us. They want to flood America with them, hoping it's going to harm us. We have to get together more. That's right. Y'all got to see how they do us. They make sure they flood the neighborhoods and the communities with immigrants, but they in their comfortable houses. They somewhere else. They don't see the need that black people have a problem killing each other in the streets, and we need therapists. We need fresh fruits and vegetables. We need good jobs. We need time to heal. We are the only people walking around with PTSD that is proven that is so bad that it's being passed down through our DNA to our children. And they will not tell you the truth. They'll do a study about everything else. They knew crack was destroying us. Do you know that these people sued the drug companies for billions of dollars, the same drug companies that put crack in your streets? The CIA was proven to put crack in the streets. But excuse me, my Instagram people, if I go out, you got to follow me on YouTube. Straight No Chaser with the Queen. Y'all stop. Go outside. All of y'all. Go outside. That's their punishment. Look, thank you, Moses Slaughter. Look, they put crack and guns in our neighborhood and it's proven. But yet when the white people was on opiates, when you see all this stuff, all this, they got us putting lean Okay, they got us putting lean in our drinks and making music out of it. And them same drug companies being sued because white people was grown enough to go. Doctors and white people were writing each other prescriptions, and they all getting high in their neighborhoods. No police, all comfortable. Now they hooked on drugs, and Americans need to get together and they sue. And half all that money that they getting go to them. Did y'all see anything for the crack? What do they do for us? Look at how they do it. Y'all come back. Go in the room. Look at how they do it. How are they going to sit up here and tell me and you that we're an American and they leave us out of everything? They don't care if we're dying. They don't care what happened to us at all. They just got you believing that you doing something wrong as an American. That's why you don't get to live like them. That's why your kids is like that. Your kids, they get to call your kids super predators. They get to write rules. They get to lock black women up. Y'all want me to put you outside? Yeah, you do. I'm not saying y'all. They get to lock black women up. Be Real 77 said the for crack is war on drugs, opiates is counseling and rehab. That's right. It's before our eyes. Zola, we're hitting you. Zola, stop. Zola, what's she hitting them with? Stop hitting them with the glow stick. Y'all excuse my grandkids. That's what I'm saying. But we have Joe Biden. The first thing he did in office was help the immigrants. They both said they wasn't going to do nothing for black people. Y'all laughed at Ice Cube because you're taught to get your food from your enemy. You're taught to get your help from your enemy. You know what I'm saying? You're taught to get your help from your enemy. Why is that? These people didn't ask for an apology. Where's the parents and the people? Give me that. Where's the parents and the people that got locked up? I mean, where's the people that got locked up? Where's their side of the story? You'll never hear because they own the airwaves. They got the whole system in play. When they get ready to turn out a lie, they got out there, the corporations back it, the police back it, their media back it, this and that. Then they shut down the small people. You know what I'm saying? It's a joke. But that's why I said, email me straight, no chaser with the queen. We're getting our nation together because we're going to be a united nation. All our black programs, organizations need to come together. We have to look at B1 for real, black first. This was discussing. They sued pharmaceutical companies over heroin, but crack took many of us out. They should be told, like the crack victims were told, get over it. But look at how they do us. How long are we going to pretend that these people are not doing us this way? How long are you going to get out there and celebrate the 4th of July when on them same dates that they would kill you if you had anything white on? You had to wear gloves to even touch them. How long are you going to keep giving your forgiveness to people who ain't even asked for it? Kamala Harris them didn't even ask for it. Zola. Hey, TJ and King and Rico, go out the door. And TJ. Since y'all want to jump on couches. Look, tell them to sit in that chair. Look, they don't care nothing about you and me or our kids. They don't care. Like if our kids, you hear how my grandkids is, I keep my grandkids with me. Want to know why? Because when them white schools, they'll say, they need this, they need that. They need this. No, you're not going out there because you were hitting them with something. They need this, they need that. They don't care about our kids. Y'all know. They play like they do. These people don't care nothing about your children, my children. They don't care because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden sat in office all this time, and these same police that you're yelling, saying, stop Breonna Taylor. They were sitting in the positions to do something. Remember, Joe Biden was vice president before Kamala. He was in the Senate. He did all this stuff, and then nobody helped us. They want you to keep sitting back pretending that some great white hope is going to come one day. And it's not. I was getting ready to get it. But let me finish dinner. I just wanted to come in here with y'all. So y'all like, share, subscribe. I will be back with y'all on Hump Day. And like I said, what we're going to do during these 4 years is build this nation. Well, I want 3 years so that we will show them you're not going to separate us with Democrats or Republicans. We're going to be us. Stop letting these people depend on your ignorance. Stop letting them play on you. But y'all have a beautiful, blessed day.
Dollar.
Our tax money goes straight into the pockets of the 1%, and it doesn't go to the nation's infrastructure. Everybody says that the nation, she want to go out there with them probably. The nation, our nation has messed up infrastructure.
Y'all let her out here and y'all watch it.
My grandkids, Pride Bentley say, I just want to send a shout out and praise to all the people who are choosing to search, learn the truth, so we can unite in peace. Positive energy always creates elevation. Thank you. Peace, y'all. Peace. We're going to end it with that. We're going to research. We're going to learn. We got 3 years to show them that we are creating a nation that is going to be just and peaceful. Love you all, Black people, melanated people. We all we got. Peace.